Hello, everybody. This is Linda DeVitas, owner and founder of healingsonthego.com. I'm a psychic clairvoyant medium, certified healer, Reiki healer, dolphin healer, and a whole bunch of things. To find me, you can go to healingsonthego.com. I would like to introduce my special guest and welcome him back, Matthew Pinner, to the show. Yay! Welcome back, Matthew. How you
Thank
doing?
you. I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, good. Hanging in there.
Yes, I
That's
know you have
awesome.
a little headache tonight. I
Yeah, it
understand.
doesn't want to go away. I took Advil. It's still thumping, but it's okay. We're gonna ignore it. So, anyways, today we're gonna talk about Matthew is also known as Jim Morrison. He's remembered his past lives, and that's one of them, which is a big honor. Jim Morrison, he's very famous, of course. Who doesn't know Jim Morrison? So that's an honor to remember that past life. And you're going to sing for us later, right?
I never plan not to.
So he's written how many books? 7 or 8 of them.
The eighth one just came out recently in the last few months.
Wow, that's
Recent-
amazing.
Yeah, pretty nice reviews so far. So
That's awesome. And a quick hello to Maria and Ann. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. That's awesome. So, are they all about Jim Morrison, or
no,
what are they
no.
about?
I would say he plays kind of a pretty minimal part about it.
Oh, wow.
The reason I talk about him is having this experience of reincarnation is what I would call it. Jim had a little bit more insight into what it was, and I've come to realize that there's a song out there called Shaman's Blues, and it's one of the most incredibly cryptic blues songs ever written, but he mentions in there, please stop and you remember we were together.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's more along the lines of, I know, and you have a twin, which is
Yeah.
amazing. I've gotten to know a little bit. But think of it as if you and your twin were never apart throughout time, but you shared one body.
Oh, wow.
Right? And you just kind of came back at will. It's my contention, and I think I've pretty well proven it, that most of his lyrics were prophetic, not only about where the world would be in 50 years, but also where he and I would be and what we'd be doing. So, for example, he mentions we're reaching for death on the end of a candle. We're trying for something that's already found us. When I pray, I brought this little prop, little Jesus candle.
I love it.
When
You
I
know,
pray, the reason I started putting my hand over the candle at church, and for some reason it was resulting in incredible clairvoyant, prophetic, mystical communication with the other side, angelic images that were appearing. And I think that was his guidance. And he knew way back when, prior to even my birth, that 50 years later, he and I would be doing that together.
that's beautiful.
It is. And it's kind of amazing how does somebody who was this guy? I hear a lot of people, was he the devil? Was he Jesus? The answer is definitely not the devil. I know that certain films and other things have portrayed him as such. What he really was a mystic prophet, clairvoyant medium that saw his own future.
Exactly. They assume that because they think drugs, alcohol is all demonic.
Which he used, to his credit, they call spirits for a reason, right? It was very important for him to get the prophecies. I will put it that way. And he did put it down on a track called An American Prayer, in addition to 5 of the greatest albums you'll ever hear. And he did that in a span of 5 years, which is just cranking it out, right?
It's amazing. Yeah. Wow.
So,
So what is your first book about?
well, the first book is about how did I come to this realization? I had always suspected it. You can see my middle name is the same as his. And here, I'll show you this real quick. This is actually a photo of he and I in high school.
Wow, look at that. That's so freaky.
So what's incredible is look at the part in the hair. It's just simply on the other side.
That's crazy. That looks like your twin.
Well, it is my twin. It'd be like if you
course.
picture of you and Maria, right? So
Yeah.
it was kind of, my book was about realizing that I had this relationship with him, even though the world considers him dead. And
Mm,
what was that relationship? And what is our mission ultimately? So he gave a lot of that in his lyrics, in a very veiled and cloaked manner. He didn't want to just give it away, but a lot of people aren't going to understand probably what he was talking about unless they understand my perspective of him.
wow, that's amazing. And I know sometime, like maybe after the first break, we're going to show the pictures, which are amazing, of the red horse. Oh, here it is. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So look at the red horse. Thank you, Bobby.
So if we could talk about that for a minute. So Jim, he had two songs that I could find that mentioned horses. One was "Lover Madly," and he mentioned 7 horses seem to be on the mark. And then there was another song where he mentioned "Insanity's horse adorns the sky."
Mm,
So if you are a believer in Jesus, the Bible, Christianity, what in Revelation it mentions 4 horses, and these 4 horses are symbolic of how the world would come to its end, basically. And I
wow.
took this photo myself. This is what is to me very significant about this photo. What I see here is a rider on a horse, a red horse there, and that's the head of the horse, and then this kind of wing, or even you could think that looks almost like a sword. So Book of Revelations mentioned a rider will appear on a red horse with a sword,
Wow.
and it will be in Zechariah, I mentioned this will be among myrtle trees. Now,
Wow.
what's incredible about this truly is that I have a myrtle tree in my backyard when I took this photo.
Wow. That is amazing.
And so that red rider appeared on 9/14, almost 3 weeks to the day that Israel was attacked in that horrific manner.
Wow.
So the red horse in Revelation is prophecy of war. It is a war horse. And as you can see, it looks like we're not descaling, we're upscaling. A lot of people think this is the very beginning of World War III, which is really terrifying to comprehend. But it's something we have to comprehend because I believe it's at our doorstep.
Exactly. And it's the revelations and recent attacks in Israel, right?
Correct. Yeah. Israel, that attack, the Zechariah passage is highly prophetic, which I think has come true. The attack in Israel mentioned that, went prior to Christ's return, which many Christians believe in rapture and that we'll all go up into the clouds. And then 7 years after that, Jesus will come back and reign on earth. But prior to that happening is that Israel would be surrounded on all sides by all of its enemies, which is very close to what is currently happening.
Wow. That's amazing. And also, if we have the angel face, yeah, look
Yeah.
at this.
So this is,
Amazing.
another, yeah, these are beautiful. These I took myself. What I believe these are, the one in the middle right there was hovering right above my roof. I believe these are angels myself. You can see the rainbow colored. You can see the one on the left looks like it's looking up and right through a wing up to this
Wow.
thing that looks like a rainbow fish, right?
Wow.
So these were prophesied, in my opinion, in Luke 21 and Matthew 24. And what I mean by that is they mentioned prior to the 4 horses of Revelation and the return of our true King that we would have these things called signs and wonders in the skies. And
Yes.
that's what I believe that these are.
Cloud Scurry, reading the clouds, which is amazing because everything speaks. When you ask a question and you look up in the sky, there is always an answer. You'll see some kind of image. It's amazing. The
Yeah.
Holy Cross, the apparition, too. Discuss that.
The Holy Cross apparition.
Yes.
I just recently got see if I can find it for us. An apparition in the sky of what absolutely looks like an enormous cross. And that was very significant to me. There's a lot of people right now. I listen to a lot of shows, and I'm not the only one talking about these things. Meaning revelations, rapture, mark of the beast, rise of Antichrist, which I saw a very compelling documentary today on who they believe the Antichrist is, which would chill you to the bone. but this kind of the return of our King, the return of Jesus. And if he comes, what does that mean for people that believe in him and truly follow him? And here's the cross that I got.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that was literally just hovering above my neighborhood in the
Oh, wow,
middle
that's
of the day.
beautiful.
That's not chemtrails, I can tell you that.
No, it would look different. That's for sure.
So
Was
again, that would fall into the signs and wonders in the skies that were prophesied so many centuries ago, not by myself or Jim, but by other prophets.
wow, that's amazing. And thank you for your energy because you made my headache go away. You didn't even have to do anything.
It was the cross.
Yes, it
So
was.
now I could sit here and I could tell you who I believe Jim is and who I believe I am, but
Yes, tell
Jim
me.
had a very cryptic line in a song called "The End," which he said, "Cancel my subscription to the resurrection. Send my credentials to the house of detention." So he knew, just like Jesus knew before, he said, when Jesus told his disciples, "I'm going to be crucified, but then I'm going to raise from the dead 3 days later,"
Yeah,
it was very similar to that, because what he was saying was, cancel my subscription to the resurrection. I don't want to raise, he said, I'd rather be with a feast of friends than the giant family. He considered the giant family the spirit realm. The
wow.
feast of friends is the mortal friends and having that party and that feast. So he cancel my subscription to the resurrection, meaning I don't want to go back to heaven. I want to stay here on earth and send my credentials to the house of detention. So that's incredible too, because he saw that, Miami-Dade, and in my opinion, was the federal government, really, because they realized this guy could easily get us out of Vietnam. So they had to shut him up, and they drummed up these charges on him in Miami from a concert of things he didn't even do. And, in front of thousands of witnesses, no one saw him do the things he was charged with.
Wow.
Convicted him anyways, and he got a 6 months jail sentence. And that's what led to him fleeing to Paris, where he ultimately died, but not before seeing all these things, which would ultimately signal who he would be later.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is. What it is, it's, I've been called a mystic. Jim's a prophet. Not much difference between that nomenclature. What it really means is you're listening to the other kingdom.
Exactly.
And the other kingdom, for all of us, can see ahead of time, even including our own, if we tap into it.
Exactly. That's true. And tell us more about the signs and the wonders. Luke
Yes, the
21. Yeah.
those 3 photos you just put up, I have thousands of things that are that spectacular.
Wow.
A lot of my 8 books are lined with those images. A lot of my books, my publisher probably wants to strangle me, because I had hundreds of photos just like that. So my first book started with this apparition, which is our mother, Mary, in her veil. And you can see 3 multicolored orbs above her forehead since she appeared. And that was why I started writing the first book. I believe it fulfilled a prophecy called The Woman Clothed in the Sun. And she was the one that really brought not just this revival of faith, but these signs and wonders. I'm not the only, let me make it abundantly clear too. I am not the only one getting these. There's 2 folks, Jacqueline Zeralta from Illinois is a good friend. She gets Jesus, Mary hovering right in her yard. Like,
wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. Another friend of mine, Alan, he's in Oklahoma, and he's getting just incredible things that look extremely apocalyptic and apocryphal and eschatological, which are all, synonyms for end times, revelations, whatnot.
I saw him when I was a little girl, and I wrote about it. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And whoever wants to find it on my site, healingsonthego.com, it's my journey from darkness to the light. I love it. It's an easy read, 90 pages. Thank you, Matthew. But yeah, I remember him very clearly. And throughout life, whenever I felt very depressed, I used to see images of him. Like the building to me would look like his face with like the thorns or crosses. I always saw images of Jesus, which is beautiful.
I just got one. We were hiking in Sedona, and my wife doesn't always see these things. And I pulled her aside and I said, look, I saw him clear as day. I mean,
that's beautiful.
Beard, the thorns, and she goes, I actually see what you're saying.
That's
It
beautiful.
was finally like, hey, this guy's not crazy.
Yes, we're crazy when we see things. That's okay. Yeah, he comes very strong. And also, I've been feeling a lot St. Michael. I don't know if you've been, but recently, these past couple of days, I've been picking up on his energy a lot.
Yeah, your sister said she sees him around me, and
Yes. Well,
I
that's
have many photos of his wings
wow.
in the sky that are just like across the entire sky, and
Wow.
it's clearly a wing, and there's just no doubt about it. And
That's beautiful.
no, it's about, well, I think all of us are holding our breath right now because, look, like here's an example.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can see the face actually.
Yeah,
If
it's
I
so
zoom in,
healing. Yeah, I love it.
see his
It's
face.
amazing. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You
So
see?
that, right above my roof. And,
Wow.
here we are. I think we're all holding our breath like, our nuke's going to go off soon in Gaza. Our nuke's going to go off in Ukraine. I mean, this is really, really frightening times. And it's funny because you look at all the wealth and advancements in technologies that we have, but yet here we are still sitting. We can't just all figure it out together,
It's true. Yeah. Anne says, wow, she sees it. It's amazing, that picture. You have gorgeous pictures just by looking at them. They're so healing and relaxing, like a tranquilizer.
My opinion is I do a rosary every morning. People ask me, how do you get that? That's all I do. There's no magical balm salve,
Just pray. Prayers are positive. They're very.
I'm like anybody else. I feel a high amount of anxiety right now with the condition of the world. And, this is the biggest time in world history that I can recall with the greatest amount of wealth disparity in history. You think about it. I just read the other day, America has over probably 800 billionaires now.
Wow.
Right. And now we have people that are trillionaires, private individuals.
Never heard of a trillionaire. That's amazing.
And for some reason, they seem to have the ability to dictate policies.
Wow.
And that's terrifying because, think about what energy might be in them. If they're focused on greed, it's probably not going to be an archangel that's guiding them. I'm just going to guess, right?
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we will be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned, everybody.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
Hi, I am Linda DeVitis. I am a psychic, clairvoyant medium and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsonthego.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back with my special guest, Matthew Pinard. Welcome, welcome. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you
Oh,
guys?
okay. I thought it froze because I know the camera, I think it freaked out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's good now. How are you doing, Matthew? So, okay, let's talk a little bit more about the horse. Everyone wants to know more about the horse.
Yeah. So that horse, in my opinion, I mean, I don't feel like it was coincidence that image appeared almost 3 weeks to the day prior to the attacks on Israel. In fact, when I saw that appear, knowing how much I've studied Revelations, my immediate thought, I thought the next day or even that evening, I'd read about an attack somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was that jarring, and it was clear to me what I was looking at. I knew immediately what I was seeing. And I snapped off probably about 6 different photos of it. And it's funny because I listened to some of these guys on YouTube, and they're all talking about it right now, which is fascinating. They're talking about, yeah, we're in the red horse and the myrtle trees, and they're reading the passage. But I don't know, many of them know that I have a photo of it and I have a myrtle tree in my backyard.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Which is almost incredible because Zacharias saw that there would be this incident and a myrtle tree would somehow be involved in this prophecy. And it's really incredible. Terrifying, but incredible.
So, who are the lurking jaws?
So one of the last things Jim wrote, and he was very cryptic as to his true identity. I was watching the Oliver Stone. It's funny because every time you and I have an interview, the Doors movie's on TV.
Oh, really?
You want to talk about universal cosmic coincidence. But there's this real incredible scene where he's writing these lyrics, kind of this poetry towards the end of his life. And he looks over to his drummer, John Densmore, and he goes, who's really John Densmore in the movie, plays himself. And he goes, did you get all that? And John goes, yeah, I got it, Jim. So he was writing down these things towards the end of his life that were coming from the other kingdom, but were highly cryptic and prophetic that I don't even know that he quite understood fully yet the meaning of them.
Oh, wow.
I began to decode because I know him and I know how his mind works. There's a song, like I mentioned, Shaman's Blues, where he goes, I know your moves and your mind.
Wow.
So it's this synergy between the two of us. We know each other so well. So I don't know that anyone else on the planet, even his bandmates, could have deciphered all of his lyrics the way that I have and showed how they were prophecy. One of the things he said was, prior to his death, where's the wine, the new wine? It's dying on the vine, and lurking jaws joints in time with a question mark. He almost scribbled it. It was something that I could tell was coming to him close to his passing. So my last name in French means wine, cheap table wine. The lurking jaws, the joints in time. So if you think of Jim and I as jaws or prophets or mystics of Mother Mary, who he references many times in his music, he calls her Passion Lady.
Yeah, Passion Lady.
Give up your house, save our city right now. So he's crying out to Mary, seeing the horrificness of everything down here. He was here during Vietnam. So he saw all the lies that got us embroiled in that totally not nonsensical war that had nothing to do with anything, and probably felt like it was apocalypse, in his era. So he's screaming out, and he even screams, Jesus, save us.
Yes.
The lurking jaws, the joints in time. So my contention in my books is that you saw the high school yearbook photos, which were taken 30 years apart, 1961, 1991. We have the exact same part, but it's on the opposite side. So if my part goes to the right, I'm the right jaw.
Your mirror.
Right. And as his part goes to the left, he's the left jaw. Exactly. Correct. You got it. Spiritual mirrors.
Yep.
He even mentioned how, I had an incident when I was a kid where I had to testify against someone in court that had committed a violent act. And I got lockjaw from the stress and anxiety of it.
Wow.
So he saw, when he mentioned where's the wine, the new wine, dine on the vine. He also mentioned this other kingdom seems by far the best until its other jaw reveals incest.
Mm,
I was the king from the other kingdom to replace him. I'm the
yeah.
other king. I'm the other kingdom, but I have this. He saw that this jaw was due to incest, meaning the incest was this person that did this thing in my neighborhood was kind of like a family member, and ended up having to testify against him. So he
Oh,
saw this was something that caused me enormous, but he saw it before it happened. That's what's incredible.
crazy.
Right. So the jaws, if you think of a jaw, like mechanically, what does it do biologically? Well, we eat, we chew, we sing, we speak. But if we're prophetic jaws, what comes from us, whether it's lyric, poetry, a book, song, I don't have my own band. I unfortunately can't. I mean, I sing in the shower, in the car. That's it. But
Yeah, that's
I'm
beautiful.
able to write. And so I can still give the message from the other kingdom being one of the jaws. Does that make sense?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just like
It
me
was,
and Maria, we're mirror twins too.
yeah. Yeah. You guys look incredibly alike. Amazing.
That's funny, right? When I shared you the live, you're like, you have a twin? I was like, actually, we're supposed to be triplets, but that's another story. We won't get into that. So can you tell us more of Jim Morrison's prophecies?
Oh God, I was just going through a couple, before we came on here. Shaman's Blues is a really good one that explains, that he would be with me. So I'll give you some of the ones from that. I know your moves and your mind. That was one where he's saying, I know, and also please stop and you remember we were together. I'll be dead. Here's another great one too. One of the lyrics from Shaman's Blues is optical promise. You'll be dead and in hell before I'm born.
Oh, wow.
Sure thing, bridesmaids. The only solution, isn't it amazing? Now that sounds very nonsensical, right? But if you go listen to the actual recording from the 70s of that, you will hear two distinct voices on that track.
Wow. That's
Now, I
amazing.
can tell you what I think those two voices were, right? But what he's saying is optical promise. So for about 15 years, I was a ophthalmic sales rep. So optical, I was dealing with eyes.
Right.
In fact, the boy from my story, Paxton, I met him only because he had gotten an eye exam and they had found this brain tumor.
Oh,
So he saw optical promise was meeting Paxton, meeting his family, trying to promise them a miracle. So he saw this 50 years ago,
wow.
which is just incredible. The you'll be dead and in hell before I'm born. That's the right jaw speaking to the left jaw, saying, I know you're going to die and go to hell. Like Jesus, prior to my birth.
Wow.
Which try to wrap your head around that.
Wow.
So we were doing this trick, and what it does, the reason for this, well, why do this? Why let God allow you guys to do this thing? It drives the devil nuts. Because just when he thinks he killed the right guy,
you come along.
Right. No, I mean, I'm not trying to be self-important or braggadocious or,
no, I know. But
at least I'm not like King Charles right now claiming to be the savior of the world. But yet,
you have your
Jim,
gifts. Yeah.
right. We all have our gifts, right?
Yes.
So you'll be dead in hell before I'm born. Sure thing, bridesmaids. The only solution, isn't it amazing? He's saying the only solution to try to beat the devil at his own game is doing this way. Making the world believe Jim is dead and died because in a state of disgrace where he could not be saved, which is just not true.
And now you have to sing for us.
Well, is Rhea or Maria on?
Maria's on. Yeah, Maria is on.
They have to choose the song.
Maria or Anne or somebody, pick a song. Let's see what they're going to pick. And if they don't pick in a minute, I'll pick.
Well, Rhea and I were talking the other day. One of her favorites is The Changeling.
Oh,
So I could do a few lyrics from The Changeling.
okay. And then I'm sure she'll see the replay.
I live uptown. I live downtown. I live
Mm.
all around. I had money, yeah. I had none.
Yay, that's awesome.
I decode
And
what he's saying. He's saying the changeling means I could show you 3 photos of Jim and 3 of me, and you'd think it was 6 different people.
oh wow, that's
So
amazing.
we can change our appearance, and it freaks the demonic out because then they don't know who they're chasing. But he also mentions, right, like I just said, I had money and I had none.
Wow.
Another prophecy. So he came from the, he's incredibly wealthy with the success of his band, which just took off like a rocket. But he realized really quickly that it was a trap for the soul.
Wow.
And realized, I could literally fall prey to the devil. He didn't want to lose his kingdom authority, right? And he didn't want to be possessed by Satan and go to hell forever. So that was his fear with fame and money. And you see that in the Oliver Stone film, even though not everything in that is accurate. There's a scene where he's drinking and he says, I'm lying. I am afraid I'm lying. I love fame.
Wow.
So, but he's saying, that he would have money and then he would have none. So he almost like self-manifested his own prophecies, right?
Wow, that's amazing. And says you sound just, how do you sound like Jim? Because he is, he's speaking through him. And she wants one more song. Yeah.
And it's no big deal. My wife cannot get this either. She does not understand it. You're not Jim Morrison.
And she wants Light My Fire, the song.
You know that I would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. When you were singing, I swear, I saw a white apparition as you were singing. That's awesome. Wow.
That could be a Passion Lady in there.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I was like, I thought it was my contact going off. It was definitely a white figure. So beautiful. That's awesome. Maria says, wow, it's just amazing. Everyone loves your songs.
I wish I could tell you guys there would be a concert in the future, but it doesn't.
Got the chills, Anne. I did too, actually. I did. Wow, that's awesome. Maybe we'll do one more.
I've recorded myself next to him and sent it to people and asked them to, tell who's Jim and who's me, and they can't.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, one more.
All right, so someone's got to throw it out, though.
Okay, who wants one more song, everyone? And Maria, pick a song from the Doors. Let's see. One more, and that's that. And then we won't bother you. It's amazing. Let's see. Any requests? If not, just pick a random one.
Okay. Well, one of my favorites is probably my favorite. God, there's so many. But I love When the Music's Over.
People are strange, she said.
Oh, okay. That's Anne?
Yes.
Anne said that?
Yes.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down, when you're strange. Faces come out of the rain when you're strange. No one remembers your name.
Your name should be changed. Wow, that's beautiful. Awesome.
Can I give out my website is just my name.com.
Of course you can. They could find you there.
Incredible books, Can I tell a story real quick?
Yes, of course.
So my 8th book called In the Key of Believe just came out. And it not only will you see those signs and wonders of the skies, but there's incredible stories in there of people being healed from things that doctors said they could not be healed from. And recently I was put in touch with a woman who is fighting terminal cancer.
Wow.
She didn't realize she was talking to me, and she goes, "Oh, wait, you're that Matthew?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" She goes, "A couple of years ago, I had throat cancer, and a nurse gave me one of your books, and they told me I'd never speak again, and I regained my voice. She ended up getting cancer in another part of her body, and now she's potentially going to be taken off the terminal list after we prayed for her. Her initials again in the skies, and 2 tumors appeared, and 2 rays of light went through the tumors. And I showed it to her, and it was above a cross above the church. And she goes, "That's incredible. They're going to use 2 lasers on the tumors."
Wow, they gave me the chills.
And the doctor, they said that they were bringing medical students in. This just happened. And the doctors were sitting there. They're like, "We can't understand how your tumors now have dents in them.
Wow.
Most people don't respond to this treatment for months." And it was, to me, there's another story in there of a guy with terminal heart cancer, and he quit all treatment, but we prayed for him anyways. We got hearts in the skies and his initials.
Wow.
And the tumor shrunk on its own from the size of a Pepsi can down to the size of an apricot.
Wow, that's a miracle.
Yeah, for real. And he's also alive. He's going to be close to 28 months past his diagnosis. They said he would never live past 18 months.
Wow. That's a miracle. You see, doctors don't know everything. God speaks.
There you go.
That's right. So
I don't know, in this dystopian future we have seemingly coming at us, that might be a crime to speak about God in the near future.
That's hysterical. She wants one more song, but we're going to do that right after the commercial break.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back right after the commercial break. Stay tuned, everybody.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
Hi, I am Linda DeVitis. I am a psychic, clairvoyant medium and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsonthego.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you.
Okay, Rapture Watchers. Again, this is 11/28/23. We got another, looks like a portal opening up. Twin sundog rainbows. And then look at this thing. It's like a giant wing that goes across the whole sky. The whole sky is this winged formation. And look at, I'll zoom in on the twin sundogs. Rainbow 1, sun, rainbow 2. So if this isn't pre-rapture, I don't know what is. Signs and wonders, Luke 21, Matthew 24. Oh, please come save us from these evil world leaders that seek our demise. Peace, love, hope.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back with my special guest, Matthew Pinard. Yay. Wow, that video is amazing.
You know what's amazing about that too? I just was watching it again. I didn't realize this before, but there's a face right above the sun there. And then as it scrolled over, there was an M on the wing. So I'm thinking that probably was
Saint
Michael.
Yes, yeah. Definitely. Wow, that's amazing. I know she wanted LA Woman, but it's up to you.
Oh, you kidding me? That's that Anne?
Maria.
LA Woman's my favorite song. Oh my God. All right. Well, I get up in the town about an hour ago. Took a look around, see which way the wind blow. Where the little girls in the Hollywood bungalow. Are you a knocking little lady in the city of light? Or did I not a lost angel? City of night, city of night, city of night, city of night. Whoa, come on, LA woman, LA woman, LA woman, Sunday afternoon. Drive through your suburbs, into your blues, into your blues. Into your blue, blue, blue. Into your blues. Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Maria says she got the chills. That's beautiful, Matthew. Way to go.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. Good job, Maria. That's like one of my favorites to sing because he hits this incredible range. And you got to have a lot of, I don't know what the word is, chutzpah.
Well, your energy is remarkable.
Yeah.
And you don't say it, but he's very humble. He's a great healer. I'm telling you, all day, this headache did not want to leave. He didn't even have to do anything. His energy, thank God, not to jinx it. It was such a pain. But thank you, Matthew. Unconsciously, you heal people without even doing anything. It's just your energy. You're amazing.
We should have like a New Doors concert and like just bring people in wheelchairs and,
Yes.
Then they're going to be dancing and
Yes, exactly. It's going to uplift them and make them better. That's awesome. Wow. Tell us more about your book, the one coming out.
Yeah. So In the Key of Believe just came out. Again, there's probably, 5 or 6 stories in there that'll just make your jaw hit the floor. 2 people had lupus and pretty much cured them. The guy with the heart cancers and his stories in there. My father's story is incredible. He was told he had a degenerative lung condition, which just doesn't resolve without treatment. And he didn't even get treatment. And we did prayers for him, and these lungs appeared in the skies.
Wow.
And his initial, and then it was on St. Patrick's Day, this rainbow-faced angel appeared. He went back got a scan, and they said, you don't even have asthma. To this day, this was a couple of years ago. To this day, he's, where you could have been on an oxygen tank, he's living a completely normal life.
Thank God. Thank God.
It's something like that doesn't just reverse course. Typically, right?
Yeah. Thank God.
Without Western medicine intervening. So that really is the purpose of the book. Is I'm trying to get the world to understand. I was seeing other people post videos. If our chakras are aligned in the right way, and frequencies, bells. Like I was just watching this thing I sent to you and some friends, and it was like they trashed. The Nazis came and destroyed all the churches and tried to smash the bells in the churches because those bells gave a certain frequency that would get them to a higher dimension, allow healing, allow them to see the, the horrible agenda, for instance, of Hitler. So they were destroying anything that would waken anybody up to evil, right? And unfortunately, I just got in it today online with a couple of people that they cannot see. It doesn't matter what you show them, tell them, present to them. They do not believe, for instance, that microchips in the hand are coming, or brain chips, even though it's in the news, or a digital controlled currency where the government may be able to access your funds, or 15-minute cities where you're not allowed to go 15 minutes away from your home, or you can't eat meat anymore, you have to eat bugs. I got called a conspiracy theorist today.
Oh,
for
God.
These are on the SDG agenda, which right now is going on COP28 overseas in Dubai.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Well, which was interesting too was, did you notice the massive floods that hit Dubai right before this thing kicked off?
See?
They're not even trying. This is not me. This is in their own paperwork, in their own, position statements. They are the ones bringing. I didn't conjure these things up from a movie. They are saying these are elites that want to control humanity because they're afraid of us. Because if we all rose up and said enough,
yeah,
enough, what would they do?
Exactly, right? Run for the hills.
Yeah, it's funny. It's because Jim had a song, 5 to 1, and he said they've got the guns, but we got the numbers. Gonna win, baby. Yeah, we're taking over. If anyone was more pissed off at this than me, even, it was him. He saw the insanity of this world where, a few people, because of what they have in the bank account, get to dictate policies. Wow. And I think that's a scary day. That's terrifying. But we just saw that happen in our own country. How many COVID lockdowns? Well, you have to wear a mask. You have to be vaccinated to even walk in here to a restaurant. Right? Didn't they do that in New York?
They don't do that anymore. Thank God. I think the people beat them up.
No, but we all know, the one billionaire where that was coming from, and it's, we got to wake up to this world isn't just hunky dory, and there's real plots out there to depopulate, to eliminate, to control, to chip us like animals.
Crazy. Well, I always pray God intervenes, because that's the only hope we have.
Right? It really is. And so that video that we showed of possibly Michael there, I mean, that's my hope. That's the only thing that gets me through the day, is that I have right there looking over me, rather than, the other side.
Exactly. That's just crazy. We live in the craziest times, Anne said, which is very true. We do. We must have been bored on the other side. So we said, which one's more entertaining?
Well, in Light My Fire, Jim said, all the children are insane waiting for the summer rain. What he was saying was, we all, and I got to admit, I'm a offender of being distracted, but there's so many things coming at us in this world now, technology wise and work wise, whatever wise, where we're all kind of distracted, and this world is now turned into clown world, an insane world. And he was right. All the children are insane because we've let it get to this point spiritually, and we're not discerning anymore. And so he was saying, waiting for the summer rain. The summer rain would be those signs and wonders of the other kingdom intervention. Michael, the video Michael there, that would be the rain, summer rain, meaning, our relief from heaven of driving these things away.
Exactly. We need all the angelic energy that we can get, and Jesus has to come. Really. So it's a spiritual war.
Big time. Probably potentially the worst in history. I don't know. I don't know what the medieval times were, but I don't think that they wouldn't bring back beheadings, if you don't take that chip in your hand. I've heard rumors of that. These aren't conspiracy theories. We got to wake up that we're in this era right now where good is, the Bible said this too, good will be called evil, evil will be called good. There'd be signs and wonders. There'll be earthquakes in diverse places. That's happening. Just the other day, somebody was tracking about 180 earthquakes above a magnitude 5.0 some point in the world. That's a lot. That's not attributed to global warming or, anything else. That's biblical.
Yes. A quick hello to Michelle Esther. She's another host on Strong Island Television, Disturbed and Confused. I love her show. And I've been a guest host, a guest on her show many times. She's the best. Welcome, Michelle. Welcome. Nice to see you on. Hope you're doing well. She's amazing. So she asked for prayers too. She's going on her site earlier today. So all the healings to you. Keep you nice and healthy because we need your show around. She's such a happy person. Beautiful soul. Yes, you're so sweet. She's a beautiful angelic soul, and her energy is very nice. She's another earth angel as well. And so I pray that everything goes well with your test, Michelle. And Matthew is amazing with his prayers. So we'll all pray for you. She said thank you. So tell us more, Matthew, about your books.
Oh, one of the most incredible ones, in my opinion, was called The Precious Blood. And I was in Utah working with some retinal surgeons. So again, the optical promise. Jim saw that. I'd be working with eye surgeons. And I was in a Catholic church, and this lady came up to me and she said, "Did you hear about our blood miracle?" And I do one of these, and she hands me this manila folder, and basically what had happened was and kind of astounded right now that my church isn't talking about it. But the more I hear about the Pope and him aligning with the New World Order, I'm not shocked that I haven't, or that we haven't. But in any event, this server had gone out with communion to serve it to a sick person, which is, if you're not Catholic, communion's a little host of bread, which is supposed to signify being one with God. Mm-hmm. He accidentally drops it, picks it up, puts it in a white handkerchief he had just washed, and gets home and pulls the handkerchief out, and it was covered in unknown blood.
Wow.
Literally appeared out of nowhere. That's an actual photo.
Wow. And
so to me, it's almost like a Shroud of Turin type event where this literal manifestation of Jesus appears on a piece of cloth that literally represents it. I've been told they have tested the blood. I have not been told what the test results are, and I don't know that anyone that isn't Vatican level is going to know that.
So Matthew, we only have a minute.
But no, you want another song, don't you?
No. I just want you to tell everyone where they can reach you.
So my name right there, MatthewDouglasPinard.com, or MatthewPinardAuthor.com. That goes to the same domain.
We all love to see you on. And for people that would like to find me at healingsonthego.com, Facebook, Linda DeVitas, TikTok, healingsonthego.com, and Instagram. I'm all over the place. You'll find me. So thank you so much for being on, Matthew. You're always a blessing. Everyone loves to see you on, and she said she loves listening to you. And you definitely will be back on again. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm like, shoot, it's only 1 minute.
No, I think we covered a lot of ground, so it's fun, as always.
It is, and it went too fast. But anyway, thank you so much for your healing energy. I feel much better. God bless you always. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a great night, everybody.
You guys too. Thanks. Thanks, Linda.
You're welcome. Anytime.